They are supposed to be saving lives, but now they are fighting to save their own lives and livelihood. Men of the Federal Fire Service. Even though their job is firefighting, these men must hope and pray every day that there's no fire incident anywhere around Lagos or anywhere near them. The reason is simple. They would fail to respond if a distress call was put through to them. It's not because they do not want to work, it's because there's simply nothing to work with. This is one of the evidence. The Federal Fire Service station at Ojuelegba in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. It looks beautiful from the outside, but go inside and the rot hits you with a compelling force. For a fire station that also houses a fire academy, there's only one fire truck that barely manages to function. The workers here told me the smoky truck usually crawls when there's an emergency.
Since there's 9-10 years of existence in this very particular department, no improvement. Equipment-wise, welfare-wise.
This is the recreation room of the firemen. It is here that they are supposed to relax and wait for that distress call. But from the look of things, relaxing here would only lead to a distress. I'm going to take you into the communication room now so that you see what the situation is with the communication room here now. Now, the shot here might be dark a bit, but you just have to bear with us. The shot here might be dark. Now, where I am standing at the moment is the communication room. This is the communication room. This place is supposed to be equipped with modern communication gadgets. But what we have here are dead communication gadgets. What do we have here? This is a radio set. The radio does not work. You can see the wires are disconnected. It's dead. And then there's a telephone box as well. The telephone box too does not work at all. It's seen better days. It's dead. So there's nothing working in the communication room here. And I really wonder how messages are received and then sent out to the firemen to go to locations where you have fire incidents. It's quite a pity. In the face of all these ugly pictures, training of new firefighters still goes on. What equipment is used for the training is best left in the world of imagination. And while you digest those pictures, add them to this. It's the headquarters of the Federal Fire Service in Lagos. If you expect everything here to be in place, then you're dead wrong. The picture is just as terrible, if not worse, than the fire station at Ojuelegba. First, the communication room is darker. Even the lantern here does not help matters. Equipment are antiquated and never functional. Desks and chairs have seen better days, and the whole place simply stinks. The two hefty fire trucks in the complex no longer function. It's been years since they were last deployed to combat fire anywhere in Lagos. As for these bikes, they all died so many years ago. Right over there is the barracks of the fire service men. You have about 3 blocks of this around this place. It's right inside the fire service complex. Now, conditions at this barracks are very appalling, but that is a story for some other time. But the irony of this whole story is that if there was a fire outbreak at the barracks here, the fire service men would not be able to put the fire out because they have no equipment at all. That's the shame of this whole story. The big unanswered question is, just how were things allowed to go this bad? The service has been a constant feature on the country's annual budget. This year, for instance, approximately 1.7 billion naira has been appropriated to the service. Of this amount, about 1 billion naira will go to personnel cost and salaries, while the remaining is earmarked for maintenance of various forms and training. Whether these would make any difference again is better imagined than explained. As shameful as the situation might be, though, the Lagos state government says it wants to take over control of the Federal Fire Service in Lagos. This man says talks have already reached advanced stage on the plan and that before the end of the year, everything will be sealed and delivered.
We want to equip them, but we need the assistance of the federal government in doing so, because it's going to cost enormous resources to put those fire stations in a functional state.
What we are trying to do at the federal level is to ensure that we'll put in our own contribution to ensure that they are able to come up in terms of equipment as well as the manpower requirement.
That plan is infuriating the workers, and they have gone to court to stop the proposed seeding. Banners like this are now common sights in some of the buildings, and recently their relatives staged a peaceful demonstration against the plan.
No appliance for the firefighting. Then you say you want to seed me to Lagos State. Why don't you seed me to my state? I'm from Abia State.
The policy of government is that federal should go about policing the other fire services. We are supposed to be in charge of policy, regulation, standardization of all the procedures, and then training of the fire service.
While the debate over the ceding of the federal service to the Lagos State government rages, one fact remains: the Federal Fire Service, as we all know it, is dead and buried. And if the proposed ceding sails through, then the coffin will finally be laid to rest. Deji Badmus, Channels Television News.